Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Fresh from the rebellion over the winter fuel allowance, Keir Starmer seems to be marching straight into another one. Another rebellion, another chance for the backbenchers to trample on their loathed and despised leader. There's not many in the Labour Party who actually like Keir Starmer. That is becoming incredibly apparent. All the time there's complaints, there's moans, there's backstabbings, there's people briefing for, people briefing against. There's a lot of disquiet and murmurs, especially on the backbenches. These people know that their jobs are on the line, and unless they act quickly and basically reverse all the things that he's attempting to do, then they're going to be out of a job at the next election. It will be a one-party or one-term government. Keir Starmer doesn't seem to mind this, but he's pushing ahead with plans that are doomed, I think, to fail, especially as almost half of his party are now openly in revolt against this policy. And what is the policy? Puffing away. Cigarettes. The cigarette ban in beer gardens and shish bars and things like that is, for many, a step too far. Starmer claims, it's still a risk. This second-hand smoke, blah, blah, blah. And we know that that is complete and utter bollocks. Doctors have said the risks are minimal, and indeed they are so statistically small as to be invisible. There is no risk in open spaces. So why is he doing it? Well, it's not because, of course, he has the public's health at heart. No, that's not it. He's doing it partially because he hates the idea of someone somewhere having a moment's pleasure in their life. He really is a joyless, miserable bastard. And the thought of someone lighting a cigarette, taking that first puff of the day and going, and feeling the relief. And as a smoker of many, many years, been clean and dry for 10 years without a cigarette, but I understand and I remember the pleasure of getting in the car of a morning, sparking up the first one and letting it fill my lungs, feeling good. The little fiery receptors in my head made me feel good because that's what an addiction does. And that moment of pleasure is something Starmer wants to take away. Now, he also claims that it's beneficial to the health service. That, of course, is a lie. But then he is a lying, two-faced twonk. We know that actually it would be massively terrible for the finances of this country. Smoking raises way, way more in tax than it costs the NHS. Also, of course, smokers tend to die younger, and therefore the pensions aren't quite as high. No, he's doing it, like I say, partially to kill the joy, but mostly to kill the economy. He is, after all, a Marxist. If he can trash the UK economy, which is his plans, then the UK falls in, it becomes a third world shithole. He knows this, but he doesn't care because he wants to emerge as the king of that third world shithole, bestriding the globe. Look at me, I've got special laws in place with my name on so that I'm exempt from paying tax on my huge, huge pension, and I can now become as rich as I like, as rich as Croesus, while my people eat dirt and are trampled under my feet and the feet of my secret police, or as we like to call them, the police. But believe you me, under his rule, they will become the mind police, the thought police, the dedicated secret police, questioning everyone, getting neighbour to rat on neighbour, father to rat on son, brother on brother. No one will escape the clutches of Chairman Starmer and his little Politburo. That's the plan. And that's, of course, why he's doing it. However, there are murmurs of disquiet, as I say. Half the backbenchers are against it. And he can't, take the whip away? He'll lose half of that. He's stopped being a government. And so they've got him over a barrel and bumping him. And he knows it. And it's fantastic. Now, there is a Newcastle politician, goes by the name of Mary Glendon. Sorry, Mary, forgot your name there for a second. And she's actually tabled a motion in the House of Commons. And it reads, and I've got it here, let me see if I can find it, because I did see it earlier. 1 second. It reads, the ban will, in her words, unduly restrict individual liberty, where second-hand smoking dangers are negligible, drive some, maybe many, pubs and clubs out of business, and undermine the nighttime economy. And she urges the government not to proceed with this option, and if it does, to allow a free vote on the proposal. That is to say, a free vote, not a whipped vote, which means that the politicians can vote with their conscience, and they won't lose the whip if they vote against the government. This is the sort of thing that occasionally happens with termination of pregnancy laws, things like that. That's always free vote rather than whipped. There was death penalties. That's always free vote rather than whipped, and things like that. Something like this should be a free vote, and I quite agree with her. The thing is, though, Mary is a Labour politician. She's a Labour MP. And so she's actually proposing a motion going against her own party and her own leader. It'd be interesting to see if she retains the whip. I don't know if she will. But Mary Glendon, thank you very much. Well done you, standing up to this mad, narcissist, Marxist arsehole who's currently residing in number 10 and who thinks he is some kind of dictator. Well, he's half right. Now, Glendon, I think, voted for the ban in 2007, or at least she's pro the smoking ban indoors in workspaces. Okay, fair enough. But surely going outside where it's safe to smoke is not an issue. And indeed, when I was a smoker, this is a little, doing asides again, but it's an interesting tale because it's relevant. You can decide if it's interesting, but it's relevant. We had a pub and it used to smoke in the pub. The smoking ban came in. And now my landlady there, wonderful woman, she went out and she built this little smoking shelter and had a table with the drinks and that. And the smokers used to go out there and it conformed to all the laws. It was open on two sides, covered for the rain, and it was up against a wall one side and she had a fence the other side just to stop the wind whipping through. And it's fine. It was legal. It was great. It's quite a big area. And so all the non-smokers used to come out and join the smokers because all the smokers are outside having a laugh, having a chat, blah, 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 blah. So all the fun was happening. And all the non-smokers would come out. And we'd say to the non-smokers, get back in that pub. Enjoy your fresh air. Get in that pub. And we don't know why. Because all the fun's out here. Yeah, I said, well, don't moan about the bloody smoke, will you? And they didn't. Because we were adults. It's a joke. Anyway, that's him. That's Starmer. He's got another rebellion. And with half the MPs ready to vote against him, he daren't give a free vote. He'll have to whip them. He can't give them a free vote, even though it should be. So he'll whip them. And it'll be interesting to see how many have toothache on that day, or whose puppy fell over in the grass and needed to be rescued, or some shit, bullshit excuse as to not turning up to vote against the government. What a pile of crap this man is. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.